So the market, it has a trust problem. We're in a trust recession. There's too many guys behind laptops telling businesses they'll fix all their problems. So nobody trusts anything.
Your best month so far?
About 190.
Well, the first time that I talked to you, I know that you used a high level. I want to know a little bit more why you're using that platform, why you choose it between all the other platforms that are right now available in the internet.
Go high level. It's very affordable, like very, very affordable. And you can provide a lot of value with it, on day one.
Can we disclose the amount the company is generating per month? A rough, not exactly.
Yeah, we're right around $1 million a year.
Hello, everybody. Hope everything is going okay. Today I'm with Max. He's a business owner since almost 10 years. They're doing online business. And today I want to talk with him because he can give us a lot of value in order to scale our businesses and also start our online business journey. So, Max, how are you?
Fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Well, can you give us a little bit of introduction? Who are you? What you do for a living? When did you start? And yeah, a little bit of your background.
Yeah. So I live in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. I was born in Ukraine, grew up in the United States, and I've been working remotely now since 2016, so 8 years. And what's allowed me to do that is my marketing agency, RoofEngine. And RoofEngine, uh, basically, I started in 2016 to help roofing contractors grow their businesses. So we basically run all their marketing for them. And yeah, that's my focus now. Is just helping grow more commercial roofing companies. That's kind of our niche, um, and just enjoy life along the way.
Yeah, I can see that you travel a lot with your remote company. Yeah,
Yeah,
a
it's it's
world
a
person.
it's a crazy time to be alive. I feel like I've lived like two or three lives in the last 10 years, so every day is a bonus.
So, what do you think there are the main three pillars to start and scale an online business with all the knowledge you have?
I would say the first is just this understanding that uh, you really can't get through life on easy mode. Uh, People say starting an online business is hard, but really, like having a job is hard. Having a, in-person business is hard. Like everything is hard. So you get to like pick your hard. That's one of my favorite concepts. Just understand like you're gonna have to deal with bullshit along the way, no matter what you do. Like if you go to school and you become a doctor, there's also a lot of bullshit there. If you decide to open a bakery, and sell, baked goods and coffee, you just bought yourself a job, that you have to be there all the time. An online business is no different. Um, there's less problems, I would say, than other businesses, but there's still a lot of problems. And just like understanding that eventually you're going to be happy you did it, because it just provides a lot of freedom, and it's a worthwhile, pursuit. Um, that's the first thing. Yeah. Second thing, I think a lot of my uh, like success, I hate to say it, but a lot of my success has come from just sticking to one thing for a very long time and not bouncing around from idea to idea or from project to project or from, not chasing like four or five different income streams and trying to go for passive income. Um, I think that can work, but the law of compounding returns, it works in business. So just by sticking to one thing long enough, and of course you want it to be like a high leverage opportunity. Uh, you don't want to be stuck in one thing for a long time. You want to be working on something that has a lot of, upward potential. Um, but yeah, just kind of dedicating like 10 years to it, you know, it's a big hack. Uh, not many people have the attention span these days to like stick with something and make it work. But yeah, every year that you do a process over and over again, you become better at it, and it just gets easier and easier. And eventually, like you're kind of working off of the previous problems you've solved, and you're reaping the rewards rather than always trying to have to like figure stuff out from scratch. So that's two. Um, and then the third thing is to just create value. It's really tempting to go into business trying to figure out like how do I make money? How do I sell this? How do I get my expenses met? Um, when you're looking at the situation from like a suboptimal perspective, it's much better to look at everything from like a uh, where is a group of people that I could provide a lot of value to, and a byproduct. Yeah, you just solve a lot of problems or solve a expensive problem a few times, and then you get a reward for that. And your reward is proportional to the amount of problems you solve or the difficulty of those problems. So it's not so much about looking at it like as, where can you make money or how can you get the success you're looking for. It's more so like where can I provide the most value?
Yes. Okay. So recapping, your first pillar is choose your heart. So you can see if you can work in a 9 to 5 or you can own your own business. But life will be hard anyways. In every place is going to be hard times. Sticking to one thing, the idea of compound of your efforts. And last but not least, create value. So focus on service delivery, resolving the problems for a group of people that you know you can provide a lot of value. Those are your main pillars to start and scale in a business. Perfect. So
Mhm.
also, well, the first time that I talked to you, I know that you used a high level. I want to know a little bit more why you're using that platform, why it's so convenient, and why you choose it between all the other platforms that are right now available in the internet.
Yeah, go high level. They've done a really good job at condensing all of your tools in one place. It's very affordable, like very, very affordable. Um, so what would normally be like $3,000, $4,000 a month in software for an agency our size, we can get through Go High Level for like, 500, and then you have your, uh, like SMS fees and whatnot on top of that. But yeah, it gets the job done. It's pretty cheap for what it is, and clients like it. It does a lot of things well, uh, and you can provide a lot of value with it, on day one. Because a lot of the businesses out there you're going to be working with, they don't have CRMs, they don't have call booking, they don't have automations. So if you can focus on one type of business and you build them a landing page and you build them an email sequence and you build them, a follow-up snapshot, the next time you work with that type of business, it's already
Done.
there. It's finished.
Yeah.
You can just launch it.
Yeah.
So it allows you to provide a lot of value without doing a lot of work over and over and over again. It's always a good thing.
Yeah. Speaking about that, you're a very large company. How many clients do you manage right now?
Um, I guess that's relative. I don't think we're that large. I think we're pretty
Okay.
small.
Okay.
We have 36 clients.
Okay. And there are roofing company clients.
Correct. Yep. All
Okay.
roofers across the US.
Can we disclose the amount the company is generating per month? A rough, not exactly.
Uh, yeah, we're right around $1 million a year company.
In order to get clients and also to fulfill your clients, do you use Facebook ads, or what is like the main strategy you use right now in order to just fulfill and also to be known more from other people, right? To get more clients and land those clients.
Hmm. I'm a big fan of Facebook ads for our marketing. We use that platform to educate roofers on, how they can grow their business. And then once they learn a little bit, they want to learn more. So they book a call with somebody on my team. And then if they're qualified, they'll book a longer call with me. So yeah, we spend around like $10,000 a month on our Facebook ads. It's the number one source of our leads. And it's a platform for us to get our message across. And our message is, I'd say it's like 80% education and 20% offers.
Perfect.
Maybe even lately, like 90% education, 10% offers. And we do that because, our industry is so competitive. There's so many agencies now. Like back when I started, I was like one of like three in 2016. Now there's like 1,000 every month opening up. And everybody's doing offers. Everybody's doing the same, Chat GPT ad to get you, new clients. Um, so the market, it has a trust problem. We're in a trust recession. Uh, there's too many, guys behind laptops telling businesses they'll fix all their problems. Um, so nobody trusts anything. And so if you realize that, then it's almost kind of like pointless to try to put your offer across because you're just like yelling the same thing everybody else is, uh, making yourself look stupid. So what we do is we don't actually really push any offers. We just push education. Uh, and the education, it usually doesn't pertain to like them working with us. It's just like education for their specific problem, of like, what their industry needs to know or what the industry needs to know about, uh, changes that are coming up ahead, how other roofers are having success, with what strategies, what methods. And the byproduct of that is they trust us and then they were like, hey, I may want to talk to these guys. They seem to know something. And it's a very casual way of marketing. I like it. It preserves your reputation, and people, they'll hop on a call with me and they'll say, I've been looking at your ads. I've seen them for like over a year. Last one was interesting, so here I am. And those are a lot easier conversations to have than people hopping on and being like, what are you selling? How much is it?
Yeah,
So,
I completely understand that. I completely understand that. And I think it's very true what you're saying right now, because one of the main things I'm focused right now, and I'm like, that's the message that I'm giving right now, is that there is right now so many kids my age that are trying to build a business, but there's so many like gurus saying, no, you need to do cold outreach and just sell the thing. You don't know anything, and then you will figure it out, yada, yada, yada. And you sell like 5 clients, you don't give them results, they don't trust agencies, and they're like, okay, I don't want to work with anybody else anymore. And there is what you're saying, a trust, a recession right now, that if you're able to provide that value, provide that knowledge, and be that person that guides first, people will come to you like more in an inbound way than an outbound way. And all leads in inbound are more easy to qualify and also to sell than the outbound ones that you try to just call outreach them or just put an offer in Facebook ads, and they're like, okay, I want to see more. But they come to the call, they ask you a lot of questions, and they say, okay, no, I'm not able to pay this.
I mean, it gets the clients coming in right away too. Like my word of advice for anybody that's looking to generate clients is first, like, get some success. Like, work with a company and produce some results, like something that you're proud of. Don't try to generate clients and don't try to sell stuff until you have something that you're proud of that you could show saying, hey, look at this thing I did for this company. Do you want maybe the same thing? Like, if you can't do that, you're just wasting money advertising because, yeah, you may be able to land some clients. Yeah, maybe they'll trust you. But then you're like rolling the dice once they've given you money to try to deliver results. And if you don't deliver results, it's a headache because then they do chargebacks, or they'll post in the Facebook groups saying, hey, don't work with this guy. So you're going to lose either way. So just slow down and get some results, like figure out how to deliver on your promises. And then that's your best marketing. You don't have to say, I'll get you 20 clients next month, or I'll get you 10 patients. Just say, hey, I'm a guy on the internet, and look at what I just did for this clinic here. I got them this many patients. Here's the ad I used, and here's, the follow-up sequence. If you want something similar, let me know. That's marketing.
I remember that in October last year we met. That was the first time we were just starting the business, the med spa niche business, and I remember perfectly, and we followed to a T that you said to us, guys, you need to work at least with 3 or 5 clinics. Just mess up, fail, see what the system could be, uh, but work for free or with low fees in order to get that information, to get that business model, to get all that like system in place, so then you can have something that you are like happy to deliver, and you can give the results. So it's easier to sell since you have the results to other clinics. And well, spoiler alert, we did that. We follow the advice. This in March, we started with Facebook ads campaign with all the business strategy already in place as a growth partner. And well, we hit our first 20K month, well, last month. So yeah, like it was all because that input. That first of all, I had the idea that no, we need to just land client and charge like 2,000 USD for it. And then you said to us, no, guys, chill first, deliver, make your own process. You need to trust in it, because if you don't trust it, your clients won't trust it either. And then you go like crazy bananas with it, because if you don't have the fundamentals, it's not going to work. But
Beautiful.
I
Good
remember
work,
it
bro. Good
perfectly.
work.
I remember it perfectly. So it's so nice to see, to hear that again. It's like, oh yeah, Max was on point. Thinking about the idea, you teach the client all the information that they need to solve like little problems, so they see results, so they trust you. What is the type of offer you run? How it makes it easier in the calls to close them? Like, what's the offer you have, so they say, okay, I need to work with Max because he knows exactly what I need to do, and I can trust him.
Yeah, like a good offer, it starts with a really damn good product or a damn good service. So I know when we turn a campaign on, it'll produce leads within 1 week. It'll have them, uh, delivering estimates within 2 weeks. And by the end of the first month, they're going to be happy they did it, right? So I don't need to go into these conversations trying to sign like a 3-month contract with them or anything. I know if I do my job, by the end of the first month, they're going to continue to the second, right? So because of that, all I do is I just show them the results that we've been getting. And my sales process is basically just showing them like, I know how to do this. We've been doing this. Here's what clients typically see in month 1. Here's what they see in month 3. Here's in month 6. Here's another one that started last month. Here's where they're at today, right? So I'm just building this foundation that I know what I'm doing, and that this isn't an experiment. And then I basically just tell them, here's how much we charge to work with us, uh, month to month. Here's how much the ad spend is, and here's how much you stand to make. I'm not saying this is how much you're going to make, but like according to our data, our average client, they'll spend, 60 to 90,000 in a year, and they'll produce 2 to 4 million in sales. In the first month, you're looking at just getting some leads. Your sales should come in month 2, month 3, month 4. But this is the path. And if you want to walk down this path, let's go ahead and get you signed up. And there's no month-to-month commitment. Um, everything is performance-based. So if I'm not performing, you can fire us. And then I always send over everything in an email. I include like 8 references. And that's basically it. I don't do like hard closes. Um, I just believe in like actually like doing good work, being able to show off that good work, and then have some clients that'll happily talk to your potential clients and explain to them, yeah, you can trust Ian. He's a good guy. They do what they say they will. I'm happy with how it's going. That's like the foundation of a business in my world, in the agency space. It's just actually doing good work and then documenting that good work. There's your marketing. There's your sales process.
Okay, so it's more likely to give a good service delivery. People will be happy. They're going to talk about you. If they talk about you, it's easier to sell.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. And like we we started a new agency uh, in January, and this is like for pools, for pool installation, pool
Okay.
repair, and like a new pool is like $100,000. So it's pretty high ticket.
Hmm.
And the first thing we did was just to run some Facebook ads to see like, can we produce pool leads? And then how many of those do we need before we actually get like a solid one? Um, so we spent our own money and then we got a client and we spent their money and we were just, improving on this.
Hmm.
And like the first day, I think we were producing pool leads for $30. That's a Facebook form lead. Uh, 4 months later, we're producing booked appointments for $100,000 pools for $75
Oh, that's perfect.
that we
That's
can
awesome.
then sell for $500.
That's awesome.
So that's not a hard thing to sell. So we can go into any conversation with any pool contractor and basically say like, do you want qualified appointments? We generate them, we speak with them. Here's how much this is. We're already doing it. We're just not doing it in your area. That's a powerful conversation. Not like, well, if you pay us for 3 months, we'll run some campaigns, we'll test some things, and then you could potentially see this.
Hmm.
Um, everything started with just having a good product. And really, what happened there is we had uh, one of the largest pool contractors in the U.S. They do 600 million. They were our second client, and they were basically like, "We'll take everything you have." So we didn't need to grow the agency. We didn't need to get multiple clients. And I passed that over to my partner to run now. But just from having like a really good uh, initial product, we attracted a $600 million a year company, and we were brand new. We didn't have a reputation. We didn't have testimonials. We were just like, hey, we're just some guys doing some stuff here. Do you like it? Do you want to try it? Oh yeah, we love it. We'll take it all. Um, so that could be $5 or $6 million a year business by the end of next year. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying like this is what happens when you actually like do the hard stuff in the beginning rather than like sell to 5 clients and then have a hard time falling asleep at night because they're canceling day by day. That's not fun either.
No, it's not fun. Quite the stress.
Yeah. Yeah. So I prefer to just be stressed in the beginning and then I'm
Yeah.
like cool later. Much
Yeah.
easier.
Well, but that's good. Right now, you're like since you know the steps you need to do, since you know the hards about the business, you are able to change very quickly or to adapt very quickly to another niche because you have all the knowledge. Because already you have an agency and you know what is the stuff that you need to tackle the first days or first month, I guess. So, oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I wouldn't recommend it. Like I said, I gave that agency to my partner to run because my main one just takes up all my time. And if you're working on the right opportunity, like there should always be more and more for you to become better at. So you
Hmm.
don't need to pick completely brand new industries and brand new things. You can go deeper in one space.
One space.
Like
Yeah.
anytime you're looking at like an industry, like if you're looking at dental, right? Like there's types of dental procedures that pay 10 times more than the average dental procedure, like dental implants,
Yeah.
right? So if you're just looking at everything as like a broad industry, you have a sub industry, and then in those sub industries, you have like even sub industries. And you can just go into those, and then if you can get good at generating those types of leads, Uh,
To
then
go.
the dentists are like, wait, how do you even know about this procedure? Or like, wait, how are you guys doing this? Like you know what this is, right? Like there's the dental marketers, but like they're all just doing like the, get a patient in the door. They're not doing it for like get this $50,000 procedure in the door.
Uh,
So that's kind of what we do. Like we started in roofing, and then we went to commercial roofing, and then we went to commercial roof coating and solar, and now like our average product, our average project we're chasing is about like $1 million.
yeah.
And when we talk to the clients, they're like, "How do you know about this?" They're just like, "Nobody knows about this." And we're like, "Yeah, like this is like what happens when you're just doing the same thing for 8 years. You get
Yeah.
bored and you're like, I need something different. I need something different." But you just keep drilling down in that same hole, and you get deeper and deeper, rather than starting new holes all over the place. So careful with that. I just kind of did it. I get shiny object just like the next guy. But yeah, it's also nice to like build up your confidence again, like in your skills, and
Mhm.
starting something from scratch and seeing that succeed.
Yeah.
Because if you've just been like maintaining a business, it's a very different energy that it takes to grow the business. And that's kind of my favorite is like the growing the business, the optimizing. It's okay, it's needed, but like nothing better than like trying something from scratch that you thought of like one night, and then like 5 days later it's producing leads. And you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm the best. I'm the best.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Talking about life and well opportunities, which or what do you feel are the best benefits of having an online business right now?
Yeah, you become unfuckwithable. Uh, there's a lot of things that want to fuck with you. You know, uh, there's governments, there's inflation, economic problems, uh, you name it, right? But when you have an online business, you get to dictate like who you work with and which parts of the world you work, which parts of the world you live in. So if you're having like a bad day, it's your fault. Congratulations. Um, nobody forced you to pick who you're working with. Nobody forced you that into that industry. Nobody forced you into the place you're living. Like you fucked up. It's yours. So you get to fix it. Um, yeah, and that to me, that's that's unbeatable. You just have like ultimate freedom. So like even like the worst shit day in having an online business is like an amazing day in the real world. So whenever I have a bad day, I usually just go to like the grocery store or Walmart and I just walk around, like maybe buy something, but I just look at the people. And I'm like, they're living in totally different realities for the most part. I get to work from home. I get to, go to the gym or have a coffee whenever I want to. Um, so yeah, it's all yours. Whether you're having a good day or a bad day. If you're having a good day, great, keep it up. If you're having a bad day, great, you could change it. Those are your inputs. You decide what goes into it the next day. Yeah, it's the best thing, man. It's the best thing. Like when you can, uh, have your money coming in from one part of the world and then you're spending it in a totally different part of the world. Like if you go to Bali, for example, you know, there's not much that you can't do with like $1,500 a month. Like you can live like a king there for like almost 1,000. Um,
It's crazy.
Thailand, it was kind of the same when I was there, but now it's more expensive. But there's places like Vietnam, Bali, Malaysia, where like you're in paradise and it's crazy cheap. And then you have the business, running, uh, as you sleep, everything's working. You have to work as well, but it's a good feeling, and it's not always perfect, but like just having that ability to move around and kind of like balance your life out like that, it's nice. Feels good.
Now I'm also thinking about going to Bali because I can see there also there are many business owners there because of the lifestyle you can have there and also how cheap it is. And well, where people is, there are opportunities. So yeah, if you have something in mind and you can connect with that person, well, stuff can happen. You know?
Yeah, that's the other big part of this. It's important to like always be the poorest of your friends. Um, so you kind of have to keep changing environments, uh, like especially through your 20s. Just keep leveling up, and getting out of your country, getting out of where you're at, and going to Thailand, going to Bali. You'll make friends with, people just like you who are chasing the same values, and they're like at different levels. And it kind of shows you, like, you'll meet you're happy doing 20K a month, and then you sit down and you talk to a guy at a coffee shop, and he's doing, 2 million a month,
Mm.
and you're like, I have some stuff to learn here potentially.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's likely like not happening, in your hometown.
No,
So
exactly.
there's a lot of value in just being like the dumbest and the poorest in a room.
You're learning for life. You will be heading towards good endings, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The worst thing that can happen is like, you're hanging out with your friends, and they're telling you, and you just had like a bad week or something, and they're just like, relax, man. Like, do you know anybody that makes more than you? And you're like, yeah, no, I don't. And then after that, you just coast, like, all, that's when you need a bigger room. That's when you need like a different friend circle, because those are the motivators. They'll keep pushing you. Just seeing other guys, and girls chasing their goals and exceeding them, and you're like, okay, that's the vibe. So not in your hometown usually.
That's the thing. That's the thing. And you need to find those people and surround yourself with people that are chasing more stuff than you, because that will push you in any ways up. So, in
Yep.
your opinion, right now, where do you think the online business industry is heading? Like, are we early? Are we too late? Is we are in the middle? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just growing exponentially. I think everything uh, that allows you to like remove the constraints from doing business is growing. Sounds like a wishy-washy answer, but I mean, everything's in your head. Whether you think you're late, you're late. If you think you're early, you're early. Everything is relative. Everything is just based on perspective.
Hmm.
Um, so like in America, yeah, it's been around for like 15 years. It's been popular. I don't know what it is in Chile. I don't know what it is in Brazil or Argentina, but like usually those countries are a bit more behind of like the online trends. Uh, I honestly just wouldn't even think about that stuff because that's all outside of you. So like the last thing you want to do is like give anything, like any big trends or the economy or business trends like powers, to like influence your decisions in a negative way. Um, so yeah, it's always a good time to start making money online. Like
Hmm.
the worst time is like 5 years from now, because then you're like, fuck, like, well, where would I be if I just started 5 years ago? And it's not for everybody. You know, uh, there is a lot of discipline required in this.
Hmm.
Um, you know, I am my best and worst employee at the same time. Uh, it's just like that's something I deal with every day. Like, oh, I know what I need to do. Do I feel like doing it? That's a different story. Do I have the discipline that day to actually sit down and do it? Hopefully. Do I have it 100% of the time? No. Um, so that's why I like this. It's a difficult path, but like it actually makes you stronger and it makes you better because it doesn't really take much discipline to like show up to a job because somebody there is gonna fire you if you don't. When you're
Hmm.
doing, something for yourself, you're not gonna like fire yourself. You're not gonna like look at the mirror at the end of the week and be like, "You've been a bad boy." Like you should have put more effort in. It's just not gonna happen. You're gonna like think about that, but it's not like a serious threat or a serious fear. So you kind of have to like get hard on yourself to make this work, or like find like a natural intrinsic drive. Like I find it better to like initially to run away from something than like chase the goal.
Hmm.
So like you know making more money is motivating, but like uh, seeing your family and you like in the problems you're facing for another 20 years in your head, that's also pretty damn motivating. So like find whatever it is that you need to like make sure like the best you shows up. And like I have on my desk here a little Alexander the Great figurine,
That's awesome.
and I'm like looking at this guy. I'm like, what would I do if I were you? Or what
Yeah.
would you do if you were me in business? You know, like what's the mentality that I need to take into my day? Um, yeah, rather than just like, be a guy working at a computer. It's like, what kind of empire am I gonna fuck up today?
Hmm.
The best way possible.
Well, so in order to just like start closing the call, I want to ask you for people that are just starting out. Probably you will say about discipline and everything, but tips for people that are just thinking about starting today and or they're trying to scale to those 10,000 USD per month because well, you can see Latin America is kind of difficult, but I think we can change that. I think it's more about the mindset than the abilities that we have. So, well, if you have any tips you want to tell people so they motivate themselves and start doing the thing that they need to do.
Yeah, like everything is difficult. So just because something is difficult doesn't mean it needs to scare you. Like everything is difficult. Uh, being broke and not having a business or having a job is also difficult. So just like find somebody who is living the life you want to live, get close to them, figure out what they did, and then just do that as closely as you can. Um, if somebody out there has done something, no matter what it is, like they left a trail of clues behind them, and you don't want to be thinking like, oh well, that's them. I'm not, that good, or I'm not that smart. I'm not that special. It's like, well, have you looked at their clues? Like, maybe they just found a book, that helped them tremendously. Like, don't shut out those options. Like, just follow the trail of success that other people leave behind, and eventually you'll be okay. It's not like a 30-day solution. But for me, like I've taken that to like pretty great lengths. Like in the last 10 years, I think I've spent probably around $900,000 on courses, masterminds, consulting, just from people who were like way ahead of me that had a system that they could teach me to get me a little bit further than where I was at. So I've always been very, very eager to give money to people who are ahead of me to show me how to save some time. That's been like very, very worthwhile. So like, don't be afraid to invest money. Just be careful who you're doing it with. Usually the people that are the loudest, that are like showing off, they don't actually have what they say they do. So you want to kind of look for the quiet, more like reserved people that are it's a balance. It's about because if they're too quiet, you won't hear about them. But yeah, it's important to figure out who to trust and then just like follow them closely. If they have a course, buy the course. If they have a program, get inside the program. Uh, but show the world that you mean business by putting your own money down, like on your goals.
I think that's one of the things that I remember that you said to us or said to me, honestly. There was the idea of trying not to be the Steve Jobs or whatever, like see somebody or see a business model that is already working. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just try to figure out how they did it, and probably you will be okay. It's far easier to just see what it works and just follow, and then take action. But that's the thing. Not just think about it. Do it.
Exactly.
With life, when you do different challenges and you start like experiencing new stuff, you will be stronger with stress and everything. I think like stress is a muscle, but there is a time that you will always have that bad like months where you feel low or you feel like you are not that person, you are not enough. So how do you deal with it? Like what you could say to people to just have that mental health that I think is quite important right now in order to have your own business. And well, how do you face it, so to say, in your journey? Tips that you could give.
Yeah, I always start with like if I don't feel like I have a grip on my life at that moment, uh, I start with like a 3 day or a 5 day water fast. So if you're not feeling confident day to day in work, or you're worried, like you don't need food. Like you need your brain to get as much energy as possible to help you navigate that and get you to the other side. So every time you eat something, you're actually slowing your progress down because your body is designed to like kick into hyperdrive and help you become like an effective hunter and problem solver when you're hungry.
Mm.
So I had a friend who had a party on a yacht. Uh, there was like 200 people, and the boat sank with 200 people on. Everybody survived, but it was a huge problem, like a huge, huge problem. It was $1 million yacht, and it sank in a river, and like everybody was panicking. And he just called me panicking. I'm like, dude, like stop eating. Like right now, like you don't you don't deserve food for 5 days, like until this problem is like resolved.
So,
He's like, what? That's crazy. I'm like, no, just stop eating. He calls me back 5 days later. Actually, it was a voicemail, voice memo and WhatsApp. He's just like, bro, yeah, I stopped eating for 5 days and everything's working out. Thanks, man. Love you. It's like you would not be able to tell from that like tone that he just like sank a yacht. It
yeah,
wasn't his yacht, but just like it just resolved. And I was like, damn, that's impressive.
it hit hard. It hit hard. Wow, that's crazy.
So
But yeah,
yeah,
what
like
is
your body will just start figuring things out. Like
mm,
you just get this extra energy and just go on walks and just let your brain like notice that you're starving, like energetically, like you're not making money or you're actually physically starving, and then it burns the fat. You burn fat, you turn into ketones, and then your brain is like running on full power.
mm,
That's step one. Um, and then from there, it's basically just like I like the saying like stand guard at the door to your mind.
okay.
Uh, so I don't allow myself like any negative thoughts or any worries. If I have like one negative thought, I like try to find what's the opposite of that. So if it's like uh, I don't have enough clients coming in this month, the opposite of that is like we have more clients than we can handle. And then the only thought I'm allowed to think is like, how do we have more clients than we can handle?
Yeah.
How do we have more clients than we can handle?
Mm,
Right? So just like realizing your mind is like a garden, and like every thought you think, you're planting a seed. And if you think that thought like 20 times a day, that's 20 seeds. So when you have a shit garden at the end of the month, it's your fault. So
yeah,
don't do that.
plant your garden.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why like fasting helps. Like it actually puts you into the state where you're more likely to have like uh you know higher vibrational thoughts,
Hmm.
more solution focused thoughts rather than like worries and concerns. So that combination, just get your mind centered and
Mm,
then just be really careful what you're thinking about. That's where meditation helps.
yeah,
Meditation, uh, your muscles, right? Like you have to go to the gym and move your muscles because you never move them, and that's how they grow strong.
hmm,
Your mind is the opposite. It's always moving. So the way you train your mind is by not moving your mind.
culminate. Wow.
Yeah. So just by like finding the space in between two thoughts and like trying to hang there for like a few seconds is like how you strengthen your mind. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute, I shouldn't be thinking that. That's not actually helping me. Rather than just like chasing that for 2 hours and then like going to buy a pack of cigs and drinking a couple of beers because you had a bad day. Like,
Yeah, the worst thing to do if you have a bad day.
yeah, bro, like the mind, it can be a wild animal,
Mm,
and you need to, give yourself as many advantages as you can,
mm,
if you're gonna do hard things, because like they're hard for a reason. They're not fun. uh, so if your brain is like weak and it's like, hey, don't do this, hey, this sucks, like, hey, like, remember that thing we did last weekend. Let's go do that. Let's get high and go to the movies instead of working on this. Like,
Yeah.
I've been there. I've been there for a long time. And once you get out of it and you get out of that loop, you're like, okay, wow, like where would I be if I just constantly controlled like my mind and just spent, like 15, 20 minutes in the morning, just train the mind,
Mm-hmm.
tell it to sit still, and then get on with your day. And then when a negative thought pops up, you can catch it, and then you're back to focus.
Right to focus. Yeah. That's awesome. Like, thank you very much for that advice. That honestly, it helps a lot, and also for me, just change it a little bit more. The idea how I see the mind, and also meditation, and how I like, yeah, my perspective about it. So thank you very much.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
another thing to add is like, your generation, you guys have it like way tougher than me, and I'm 32, right? I'm not like that old, but
mhm.
just like the amount of short form content you guys are exposed to compared to me when I was like 20, like we had like YouTube videos and stuff, but
Hmm.
we didn't have reels when I
Yeah,
was like 20 or 21. Um, so all of that stuff is there to rot your brain basically. Like you just get this dopamine loop going and you could
yeah,
spend like, 20, 30 hours a week just like numbing your brain with 30-second content. So you need to fight that somehow. That's what meditation is basically. Like you don't need
hmm.
to go super woo with it. It's just a way of like getting control back of your mind to like focus on one thing
Yeah.
without needing to chase dopamine.
No problem.
That's
Yeah,
all it is
that's very
to start with.
addictive. Yeah, good advice. Yeah, also not grabbing the phone the first hour of the day. Also, I think it helps a lot with that.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. If you want like a winning routine, like my morning routine, uh, I really, really recommend um, just getting like into like a private space for the first hour.
Mhm.
So I have a red light that I use,
Oh,
and I do Wim Hof breathing.
perfect,
So I'll
perfect.
do like 3 rounds of Wim Hof with a red light. After that, you just want to meditate basically. Like
Yeah,
your body is so calm, you've done the 3 rounds, it takes 10 minutes. You
yeah,
don't mind sitting in front of that for another 10 minutes, just
yeah.
chilling. Um, that
That's
really
great.
helps. And then, find some YouTube videos, like search for, either motivational videos or like affirmations. Once you find a few, just like them, and the algorithm will give you more.
Yeah,
And then, like on my downloads, I have like 40 or 50 different, affirmation videos. Videos that are like tracks. But YouTube is just full of this positive mindset stuff.
mm.
And it's great when you're starting your day, having your coffee or like walking around. Get some sunlight if you can, early. I do an ice bath. I have a deep freezer here. And that's a great way for me to control my mind. I just like,
Mm.
I hop in and like, yeah, this sucks, but it'll suck less in 2 minutes.
Yeah,
And if I could win that, it's like, okay, this is noted for the rest of the hard stuff that's going to come my way. Like, yeah, it's hard now, but it'll be easier later. Um, so yeah, just like it's in like an hour to put on your like mental armor, basically.
yeah.
Because like the
Good advice.
entire day, you're just going to have rocks hurled at your mentality
Mm.
and problems and, Instagram reels, and you're just going to be like pummeled. It's like prepare for it.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure to have you here. That you give us time to hear more about your experience, how you build your business, and all the tips that you can help us to take this time in order to get to the ideas or the dreams that we have, so we can have that life that we want to create.
Life is long, so you guys have plenty of time.
Oh, Max, one thing I'm just curious. Your best month so far, how much did you make just to have the idea? Like, best month.
I would say about 190.
Yeah. Okay. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I have a friend though that for him that's a bad month. His good months are like 250, and then the guy I'm learning from at the moment,
Hmm.
uh, he does 2.5 million a month, and the
Wow.
same thing as me.
Same thing. Roofing companies.
Solar.
Solar. So, oh, solar.
Yeah,
Crazy.
so there's levels. There's always levels.
There's levels.
Yeah, if somebody wants to reach out, just uh, probably Instagram, Max Reznich,
I'll
at
put it
Max
in the
Reznich.
bio. Perfect.
Yeah, you could message me there. Any questions? Happy to answer within
Well,
reason.